I want to take you behind the scenes of the past years that I have been working with a multi-millionaire mentor. Here is her photo. Her name is Melanie Ann Layer and her brand is called Alpha Femme. You can check it out on Instagram. I met her on the beach in 2017 when she was just a regular business coach making maybe several $100,000 a year. And then she received these incredible channeled messages about money, and she started to create exponential wealth. She went from $1 million year all on her own without a website, without a team, to a $2 million year, and to date her brand has now made 70 million. I started working with her in 2021 when I was living in Canada. I really needed mentorship in how to create success online. I have been very lucky to be a part of a 2-year program with her, a close proximity mastermind called The Channel. And so in this video, I'm going to take you behind the scenes and share with you some of the key takeaways that I received that were really unexpected to me, but they were absolute gold and they've totally transformed me from where I was 2 years ago. So before we get into that, there's something really cool happening this week, which is so frigging awesome. It's already been going on for a few days, but I wanted to come on and let you know about it. It's a summit of sisterhood called The Channel, and it is all of the women that have been in this mastermind with me for the past few years. We've come together to share our key teachings and our key takeaways in conversation with Melanie. So it's a really amazing opportunity for you to harvest all of the magic that we have been receiving over 2 years, and it's really put into a condensed format over 11 days. So that's taking place right now from October 11th to the 22nd. But if you're watching this in the future, you can still go into the Facebook group and access the recordings. So to register for that, I'll put the link below and you can come and join us. My talk is happening on Monday the 16th at 2 p.m. Eastern, so you can come live if you want. And it's going to be called Emissary of Light, how I created a platform to share my light. So this will be sharing all of the unique perspectives that I have about getting onto social media. And I think it's especially relevant for you if you are someone who knows that you're meant to reach people with the light of your consciousness and your unique perspective into the world, and yet maybe you've had some resistance to social media. So that will be happening, and you can participate now or in the future, access the recording. And now let's get into the behind the scenes from my millionaire mentor, Melanie Ann Layer. Now, a huge part of why this experience has been magical was because of how it was born. It all began during a program that Melanie teaches, which is called Exponential Wealth. Exponential Wealth is an incredible program because it's sharing these messages that Melanie received in a very powerful transmission. I think it took her 3 nights where she was waking up and she was just writing down all of these messages that she was receiving about money. And she began to follow these messages, and she started having 6-figure months. You know, she went on and, she had $1 million year, I think that was her first $1 million year. And then, now she's had even a $25 million year and a $1 million month. So she's really experienced literal exponential wealth. In that program, she teaches an incredible concept. This is life-changing and so powerful. If you can, I highly recommend that program. It is really amazing. So in Exponential Wealth, she teaches about 3 fields within which you can create: predictability, possibility, and potentiality. Predictability is the realm that most people live in. It's the realm of what is known. I know that I'll pay my rent because I have a job that pays me enough to pay my rent. I make enough to cover my expenses, and it's predictable that I could go and save for a vacation in 6 months. It's known. The realm of possibility is not known. It's a maybe it could work, maybe it wouldn't. A lot of the entrepreneurs live in the realm of possibility, where they launch something and they're not sure if it will succeed or not. So it's a bit of a gamble, and it involves having to face fear. And the final realm is the realm of potentiality, where there are things that God wants for us, that the divine blueprint has in store for us, that are beyond what we could even intend to have, that are completely from the quantum field, that are completely unknown, and that we get to say yes to through faith. And so it requires just a faith, and it also requires, like, it's not about you doing it. You know, in the realm of possibility, you would be doing the thing. So this program was born in the realm of potentiality. Melanie just had this incredible download to make an offer for a program that she didn't even know what it included. She just knew that it was a certain amount of money for a certain amount of people, and that those of us that signed up for it were going to need to sign up for it on faith, and not knowing the details of what it would include. I signed up for this program, $20,000, at a time where I really wasn't earning that much money, and it really tested my faith, because I had a full body yes for this, unlike anything I'd ever experienced. It was a toe to head electric shock, like a lightning bolt. It was so powerful. I wasn't even sure. I was thinking about human design, like, is a lightning bolt a yes? It took me several weeks of just feeling into it and contemplating it to actually muster the courage to say yes. And I actually did a video where I recorded myself channeling and tuning in about this, because I was kind of tormented. I couldn't decide, and it was a really big deal to go for this. So I'll post that there. It kind of makes me cringe, because I was very emotional as I recorded it. The power of that moment is incredible, because what I saw when I was tuning in was the realm of potentiality, that we really are not limited. When we surrender into God's resources, there is no limit. At the end of that video, I say, truth, faith has no limits. So why would I take actions with faith in all aspects of my life, but not when it comes to investing $20,000? That doesn't make any sense. That means that my faith expires the moment that there's a dollar sum beyond my comfort zone attached to it. So I'm placing money as my God versus God as my God. It took faith from me. It also took faith from Melanie, because she didn't know all the details of what she was going to be delivering to us. And it turned out that the program that we were receiving included a lot of things that she had already decided that she wouldn't do again. It included a summit, which we will be doing October 11th to 22nd. And she had already decided that she wouldn't do a summit again. And it was also a program that had a start date where we all started together, and it had an end date. And she had already decided that she didn't want to do that. And so this also required her faith and trust to move beyond some limitations that she had set for herself, and to face some of the fears that had been associated with those things, which she did. And it has been really, really powerful to witness her in her process of stepping into faith, choosing to feel empowered, choosing to heal and forgive along the way. But I'm getting ahead of myself, because I just wanted to talk about potentiality. This is one of the main things that I've received in the channel mastermind, and it was there right from the beginning, right from the inception, that this creation of Melanie's was born in potentiality, and those of us that stepped into potentiality. One of the things that she says is, you attract the field you dwell in. And I really see this as true. Now that I have become a person that steps into faith and steps into potentiality, I also attract clients that do that. I attract clients who will listen to a YouTube video of mine, never having met me, and then immediately book a session with me just because they have a feeling and they trust the feeling and they step into working with me in faith without knowing why, just like I did. So I embody that frequency and now I attract on that frequency as well. I had another revelation about potentiality partway through the channel Mastermind, where Melanie included this incredible program that she has called Manifestation Equation. She went further into these realms with us, and one of the things I realized is that the realm of possibility and the uncertainty of it had become so predictable for me because I've always been an entrepreneur since I was 28. So I don't really know predictability. So possibility had become predictable for me. It had become predictable for me not to know if I was gonna succeed or not. And I wasn't actually really even living in my version of possible. And I wasn't living in potentiality. So, for example, when I decided to go to Cuba, where my heart was calling me, that was potentiality. That was even possibility. I'm a combination of the two because it took total faith for me to go there. I went there when I wasn't doing well financially. I was in a lull. It was also a place that was difficult for me to make money there, but I knew I had to go. So I went on faith, and I'm so glad I did because so many things worked out for me as a result of going there. And I ended up spending almost 5 months in Cuba in total in 2023. Okay, let's talk about the next thing that I received in the channel, which was a very deep understanding of vibe or frequency and how many things this affects. It affects your brand, it affects your social media, it affects people buying from you or not. And it directly stems from your healing, your ability to genuinely exist in a frequency of gratitude and real happiness. So to give you this full sense of what I'm talking about, I'd like to share some of the clips from my one-on-one session with Melanie, which was included as a part of this mastermind. To give you some context, at the time of this session, I was living in Ottawa, Canada. It was the dead of winter. It was, I think, January, and I had just gone through a breakup. We were in the middle of a lockdown with COVID. It was illegal to go out at night. I was spending a lot of time alone. I was so unhappy, and I had spent the last 2 years or so really focused on building my business. I had everything in place. My YouTube was growing. I had my offerings all created. I had built it all, but people were not buying. And it was very, very frustrating, very discouraging. I couldn't figure out what was going on, why people weren't buying, because I was gifted at what I do. It just didn't all add up. And that's where I came into the session. And here's what Melanie had to say about it.
And I feel like the big thing that's in the way right now is the life that you're living is not the one you want. And so when the life that we're living is not the one we want, and our experience of our life is not the one that we want, we tend to have an energetic match for people who have exactly that, a life that they are not super happy with, things that aren't working. And the number one thing for people that isn't working usually is finance. That's like the number one thing on the top of people's list. If you ask them, like, what's the number one thing you want to change? Finance, number two, relationship, number three, health. Like that's the thing. So for you, if the number one that you're experiencing is the number one that they're experiencing, you're attracting an energetic match. So although you don't want to do one-on-one readings for less than 2222, do you have other offers that someone could do at like a 222 price, or not even?
No, I really only have like one masterclass. It's $111.
Okay. So what could be fun is to start to build your body of work in a way where when someone inquires about a reading and it's not something that's available right now, either you have a small mastermind or a small group program or a recorded thing that they could say yes to. Because you're attracting the energetic match for the pain you're in. And this happens to us sometimes. So what is going to change your center is when you're not experiencing lack. And for that, I really believe the key will be to find the environment that's right for you. Because I can already imagine that if you were barefoot in Mexico with a tan and you were just free to dance in the wind, and someone wanted a reading and you said, yeah, they're this much, but your whole life was in alignment, you would find people who are like, I want to dance barefoot in the wind. And I will pay $2,222 to learn from a woman who does that. But while there's still something in your life that doesn't feel quite right, you're attracting an energetic match for that same thing. And that sometimes happens. So creating some offers that make sense for people to join at a lower cost. But the one-on-one is always that price until you're ready to raise it. Because even one day, I think you will charge more than that for private time. Because eventually, if you have a $222 offer and there's 10 people in it, you're making as much as a one-on-one call. You know, so it's like the leveraging of people in the coaching industry is what gives us our time back. So what's in the way now of you actually finding your place?
Well, that is the big question. I spend so much time thinking about that question. Well, a couple things. One is, like, I really want to live on land where I could grow food. And I did live on this beautiful permaculture orchard in central Mexico for a time. And I loved that climate that I was in. Oh, like near Michoacan, like where
Yeah.
you, yeah. I love that climate so much. But I also kind of want to be close, well, not kind of, I want to be close to dancing, like a place where there is dancing. And I also really would love a partner. So I don't know if the partner comes first or the place comes first. But yeah, like my next step is selling all my stuff and just going into the world. That's what I'm in the process of.
My feeling is the place comes first. My feeling is the place comes first because either you find love in the place or you find love online and the love comes to meet you. But I don't think because what if you wait for love and love finds you in Ottawa and love doesn't want to go anywhere else?
That would be horrible.
Right? So there's love everywhere. You're an energetic match for hundreds of suitors. Let's make sure you don't fall in love with someone who doesn't want to leave Ottawa. Let's get out of there before you fall in love quick. So I feel like if you pick a place, even if at first it's like you pick a place in where there's dance, or you pick a place where, I think that's really your most important thing, to be honest. It's like the climate and the dance is both important, but the dance and the climate is so difficult in Canada right now. Like it's so intense that even though there is dancing, it's so far from the climate that doesn't work. So if you can at least find something closer climate wise where you can be barefoot, I just see you barefoot. I just see you barefoot with your shoulders bare and wind in your hair. Like that's the energy and a beautiful like hue to your skin. Like that's the Karen I know. And I feel like that's the thing that's going to set everything else in motion, because that's the identity where you feel right. And when you feel right and you're offering the world anything you're offering them, they're like, I want to feel the way that woman feels. And then you can really help them because you're there already, not trying to get there, but there.
I had met Melanie when I was in Mexico, living on the beach. And so she knew that free version of me on the beach, barefoot with my shoulders bare. And she really felt like me being in Canada was not right. It wasn't who I was, and that I really wouldn't be able to build a brand based on my true frequency unless I went elsewhere and got myself into a place where I was truly, genuinely happy and thriving in my life. So that was a huge takeaway for me from the session. And she went on to share about how that would be so essential for building my brand and for knowing what to post on social media. Because at that time, I was always like, what do I post? It took a lot of energy to think about what to post.
But I think that what's really going to be so easy is when you have a life that you love, you can't stop sharing about it. Like when you
Right.
wake up at sunrise and it's the ocean and the sunrise, you will know what to post in your Instagram story. When you're having an iced latte overlooking the water with the palm trees flowing in the wind, like you will know what to post. When you're having a farm to table lunch that's delicious, when you're reading a book by the pool, when you've just had the most incredible conversation from a woman from Peru who's stopping by to do something, and you just had a cacao ceremony and you spent 3 hours dancing on a juice cleanse, like you will not have any problem saying anything. And when you're talking to people about their life and their genius and they'll just be like, yes, because you will be in your life that you're meant to be in.
Yes. Yeah, I think the trick for me is that I get so like when I'm enjoying my life, I don't want to share. Like I just want to enjoy my life. So I think that the habit that I've been developing is actually using my phone and doing all the things.
And here's the thing, one day, I can already see this. One day you're going to be very successful, very. And even before you're very, very, very successful, you're going to be so comfortable and you're going to find someone that's really great with social media that's in Mexico whose dream is to just get some money to help someone and get to stay there. And you'll get an assistant who takes the videos for you and posts for you and does all the things for you while you just live your life. Someone who loves it and who can picture you, capture you, take little videos of you walking on the beach and just post them for you and do the things. Like, I see that. I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it.
It was really so beautiful in this session to feel how truly Melanie believed in the quantum field and in reality that I will succeed, and that I will meet a man. And I absolutely received from her this real belief about what is really possible for me. And it was very, very touching.
So create your freedom, create your life, find your wings again, and you will find a match for that version of Karen. And that will be the luckiest human on earth that gets to be with you and say, like, my woman is the most passionate, the most free. I've got to be the best of me because she's constantly evolving. Like, I'm on my toes all the time. It's fun. It's passionate. We've always got something to talk about. She's up to something. I've never felt more alive. That's what the partner that's meant for you has in store when you meet at your peak. So create your peak and then you will find your energetic match.
If you haven't been following my story, I did go to Cuba. I did go to the Dominican Republic. I found my places that I resonate with. And being there really brought up so many things to heal that I didn't know were in my energetic field to heal. I discovered real forgiveness where I just wiped the slate clean of the past and any disappointments or hurts. I really did learn how to take care of my heart and to keep myself happy. And I feel on the whole genuinely happy these days, which is a huge deal. And I feel like that's been a big ingredient of why now my online presence is really starting to take off and all work in synergy together.
I feel so nourished by your belief in what I can create. Yeah.
It's more than a belief, it's a knowing. Like, I see you, I feel you, you have a unique heart. That is not, you can't duplicate that, you can't invent that, you can't fake that. Like, you have a gift and you've got to take care of that heart because it will lead you or it will stifle you if you don't let it beat the way it wants.
Yeah.
Sad, it'll tell you, no. Like, it's so vocal. No, don't want to be here. Don't want to do that. No. So you've got to really like listen. That inner child of yours is the most beautiful magnetic, like, I want to be around that. I want to speak to that. I want to dance with that. I want to be around that. It's so there, or it's like, uh-oh. Like a small child that loves you, or a small child that's like, don't touch me. Like that's literally the energy. You're either completely magnetic or no.
Yes. Yeah, so very, very unhappy when I'm not happy.
But that makes you so lovable. And it's also so great because if you pay attention, you'll never go too far beyond your unhappiness. You'll
Right.
catch it. You'll be like, oh, I'm grumpy. Uh-oh. And if you pay attention to your heart and you take care of your heart like your most precious gift, you'll lead yourself everywhere you're meant to be, and everything that's meant for you will find you. The wiggle and the giggles. This is how we know. Small child is happy on the inside. Yes.
Oh my
Finally, Melanie also shared about how my book is me, and I'll just share the clip so you can see what she said.
Okay, I would love to ask about my book, Alchemy of Consciousness.
I love that title.
It's a beautiful book. And again, it's just so undervalued, underseen. Like it's just not getting into the world. Like
It sounds like you. The book is you.
yeah.
Set you free. The book will make it around the world.
I really feel that this has become true, where now I am such a much better living representation of the book. And so now I can really bring the book out into the world in a powerful way. So I'm very excited for that. The final main takeaway from the channel has been sisterhood. It has been so amazing to be in this group of women, and those of us that really showed up again and again truly connected. And I made so many really strong connections in this group, including 18 of us that rented a villa in Mexico, and we went in February of 2022 and just spent a week together. It was such a cool experience. I've never had an experience of being with people who were so smart and savvy in business, and also so frequency sensitive and God connected in combination together. I've been with spiritual people that are God connected and frequency aware, and I've been with business people that are not as God connected and frequency aware, but I've never been with people that really married both worlds so completely. And we just kind of wove in and out in harmony. Like there was a problem with the venue, and some of the people ended up leaving and getting in a different hotel, and like there were some challenges, but everybody was just in their truth and taking full responsibility for their experience and respecting each other's needs and wishes, and still harmonizing, still coming together. We had some incredibly healing ceremonies, breakthroughs, holding each other in powerful ways, and also having a blast. So it was really amazing. It was a week unlike anything I've experienced. And on one of the nights, Melanie treated us to an epic dinner out, and we had this photo team that was there taking footage of us. It was just so beautiful. And this has been a ongoing experience in the channel, is that we've self-organized, we have come together and co-created, and we've also really been there to champion Melanie and to be on her team as she's navigated some incredible events that have taken place in the past few years as her business has really grown. Originally, the channel was supposed to be 1 year, but each of us had a one-on-one call with Melanie. We also had deepening calls where we got to ask questions. Just the way it unfolded, it's almost been 2 years in total that we've been together. It'll be just 1 month shy of 2 years. So It was a very, very generous experience and far beyond what I could have imagined I was receiving when I invested originally. So I'm so grateful to the past me who had the courage to invest. I can't even believe I did that, honestly. It's like, wow, that is amazing. I'm so proud of my courage. And oh, and the sisterhood part, I've also met some really key players in my life in this group that have absolutely changed my reality, including the woman who is really helping me behind the scenes in my business and has really made a difference in me being able to now thrive online. I'm beyond grateful for the channel and for the beautiful relationships that I've built there. So I'm very excited to share these women with you. I genuinely really believe they are the cat's meow, they're the cream of the crop, they're the heart of hearts. And I would like to now present you with our trailer to initiate the summit and invite you to come and join us in the free Alpha Femme group to participate in the talks that call to you October 11th to 22nd. There were so many keys in what I just shared. I hope that you picked some of them up and let me know what you took from this video, and I hope to see you over in the summit. Thanks for watching. Bye.